Hello, Exiled Fae. Doing some required workplace training, but it's the same stuff every year. Oh gosh. The workplace harassment one is so cringe. I get the importance, but my coworkers are cats and the dog. Oh geez. Mustang Aspen, hello. How are you? And Exiled Fae, how are you? AB Coffee, hello. How are you? Last night on the Beardy Bunch podcast, I mentioned you, AB Coffee, and I mentioned your presentation on putting together a visual novel because our friend Joe Chilson, is hoping to start writing a visual novel during NaNoWriMo. Hey Lomi, how are you? Katya, hello, how are you? Hang on, I forgot to get my white noise started, so let me pull out my iPad. Oh, what a morning. It is super overcast here this morning. And it's been so bright and sunny lately that my brain is just like, I don't understand. What is this gray garbage? Today begins a day of discovery. What are you discovering, Mustang? Is it a new project? Yeah, well, thank you so much, AB Coffee. Like I said, it's not just me who's interested in like the potential visual novel, and Joe did specify that he's trying to make a dating sim, so he's gonna be putting together some branching paths and figuring all that stuff out for sure. My headphones plugged in so I don't accidentally stream something I'm not supposed to stream. Oh my goodness. Tin Roof Conquistadors. I hurt my shoulder last week and haven't been able to type. What? No! Now I'm over a week behind on everything. Still hurt, but I have to get things done. Oh my gosh, Lomi, I'm so sorry. That is the worst. I know I have typed through pain before, and it sucks, and I really, really hope you're able to rest it this weekend. Unless the weekend is when you work, then I really hope you're able to rest it soon, and that it slowly heals. Anything muscle and limb related is like, but then like if you've ever hurt your torso somehow and then suddenly you realize, oh, you actually move your torso all the time and you just don't realize it because, you know. So I really hope that gets better. If anyone is 1% curious about visual novel design, you can reach out in Discord. That is so kind of you, AB Coffee. I will definitely be taking you up on that at some point. I don't know when, because I have slowly come to the realization that I may have too many projects on the go right now. But I definitely have more that I'm interested in doing. Just new limits thanks to new meds. Nothing as exciting as a project. I mean, that's pretty exciting, Mustang. I hope this medicine works well for you. I hope it expands your limits a bit. What? Too many projects? No, right? Exactly. Every time I get a new idea for something, I'm like, brain, we're full. We can't do this. And my brain's like, what? No, we'll find time. So that's a thing. Oh, I should show you guys an update on the cross stitch. Hang on, let me see if I can reach it. Oh, I've been working on a Beauty and the Beast cross stitch for my good friend Flutter, and you can see most of my progress is in the frame right now. My hoop is actually busted and taped together, and I ordered some new ones, but they haven't shipped yet. Some plastic ones to see if the canvas slides around less. But here's Belle with her spaghetti arms. Spaghetti arms Belle. And you can see I've started to fill in her flesh a little bit. I had a major crafting disaster on Sunday. I somehow managed to tangle the thread very, very badly twice. And the second time I had to cut it because it ripped and I had to cut it free. So this like gold color that is her dress, I was worried I was going to run out of it. But I got through all the gloves and I got through the dress. I think there's only like 2 stitches of it elsewhere. And if I find any more, I might be able to cheat it with a different color. But yeah, don't her arms look like super like spaghetti? They're like really thick at the elbows, right? And then they're just like twig thin. She's dancing with the beast, so, but like, yeah, she's gonna look even more noodly once I do, big buff beast beside her. No one has too many projects as long as I exist to compare against. Mustang, do not take that on yourself. I know the feeling. Katya, thank you. Writer brains be like, you can have more ideas. It's funny because I was on the Beardy Bunch podcast last night with Joe, and he was saying that he primarily writes short stories in part because his brain jumps from idea to idea so frequently. And so it works really well for him to just get it all out and then like move on to the next thing. And he was like, so I don't know how you write like a book 10. And I was like, listen, I just get attached. Sometimes 2 feels like too much. I know. Well, I have 2 novels. So I have 2 novels that I'm working on actively right now. This one, Someone's Errant Child for the first book of Everyone's Child. And then I have Vision After Darkness, which is the 10th book in the Aravalia Chronicles. So those are the 2 that I'm actively working on each week. I also have a super secret, can't tell you the name of it because it's for my pen name novel that's waiting to be edited. That has to get done by the end of the year. And then I also am currently trying to plan a D&D session for next month for my Kryptonia universe. And I want to say what the next part is, but I'm worried one of the players will overhear it, but I'm really excited about the setup for session 2. So those are like all the creative things that I have going on right now. And then I just have so many things that are like crammed into the queue in the back of my head. Heck, 1 is too much. Sometimes the siren call of my Aravalia novel is very strong right now. And some days I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm working on Everyone's Child today. Do I gotta? And it's like, yes, brain, you gotta. It's actually a good idea. I'm trying to do that, the short story thing. Yeah, he said that he has a bit of ADHD brain. And so I don't know why I put it that way. That was how he put it. So that's how I put it. And he said basically like he used to just get halfway through something and then abandon it. So he's like, now I just write short stories and like they're done before my brain like latches on to the next thing. He did say that he's working on a book that is like the sequel to a short story though. I wish I knew how you got all this done. It's a heady combination of throwing myself headlong into something because I'm panicking about the fact that I won't get it done otherwise. And I kind of talked about this on the podcast last night too. Hey, Zark, how are you? What is up, my friend? I have this really pretty planner, this really pretty day planner. And if I write something down in this gorgeous day planner, I feel obligated to finish it. Because if I don't finish it, I have to put a big, ugly cross through what I wrote in my day planner. And I don't want to do that. Because it's... Every now and then I have to because I get sick and I have to take a day off. Bodies, right? But, so it's a heady mix of, discipline, terror, and a desire to make my day planner look pretty. Back to doing well. Welcome back to writing my book with friends. This is the part of the stream where I just ramble for 40 minutes instead of doing work. Yesterday, I had no idea what to do with either of the scenes that I wrote, and so there was a great deal of panic. I talked about this last night on the podcast. Like, everyone's like, oh, you're so calm and you're so collected and organized. It's all just a thin veneer stretched across a ton of terror. I was very nervous about yesterday's scenes, especially because the first one I just rambled on for like 1,000 words and I don't think anything really happened. But I did basically get my shit together in the second half, and basically our friend Siri She went to this ceremony of ascension. She saw someone attain godhood. But after that, they just kind of vanished, and she doesn't know what happens. And so she's starting to question, what am I actually working for in this organization? Is the reward that I want actually going to be rewarding? Am I actually like working towards the thing that I think I'm working towards? And so she's starting to snoop around in places where she's not supposed to, and she stole somebody's keys, and she opened a forbidden door, and there was somebody inside the room that she opened. And now she's in trouble. And that's basically where we cut away yesterday. So we're gonna pick up from there today, and I did actually do some planning for this scene, so I kind of know how she's gonna react. That's why I use printable refills. I ruin them and then throw them away so I don't have to feel bad. Like, my friend Flutter used to be, like, if she made a mistake in a notebook, she would, like, tear out the page or abandon the notebook because she doesn't like making mistakes. So I've gotten a little bit better about that. Like, sometimes I just put stickers over the mess ups, but I just want my day planner to look pretty. Lies. I mean, Bard, oh my gosh, thank you for 7 months of subscription. How are you? Tape is your friend. You're valid. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet to me. I don't know if all the dungeon crawling I did yesterday is going to work. Oh no, Exiled Fae, why? Why won't it work? I'll show you guys, I'll flash you guys one of my month pages. So like I just want my day planner to look pretty. That's all. All I want in the also people were like, how do you get organized? Stickers. You see how many stickers are on there? I bought like 500 stickers. I organized myself so I can put stickers on things. It's like, and they're like a business expense. It's like a business expense to have all these stickers and put them in places. And it's great and I love it. So, yeah. If you guys are like, I don't know how you get organized, buy yourself stickers. And give yourself an excuse to stick them on everything. And that's my secret. Stickers. And then if we look at, this is my plan for this week. These are all the things that I'm obligated to do or I'll have to cross them out. And you'll notice that last week I had to cross out a whole day and put a sticker over it, sick day, because I had to take Thursday off. There you go. That's the secret. My secret is I really like actually making spreadsheets because I'm weird, and stickers. And colorful pens. I turned organization into something fun. Fun for me, because I'm weird. Bard, how are you? Working? Oh no, I'm so shocked. I've never heard of that before. Be lurking and popping in and out. Well, thank you for stopping by, Bard. I appreciate it. I hope work goes smoothly for you today. You deserve that. Might be worrying for nothing. I woke up on the wrong side of the brain. I mean, this Exiled Fae, this is why I always let my stuff sit for a couple months before I edit it. Because you could just be overthinking it. You could come back to that scene in like 2 weeks and it'll be like, what was I worried about? This is great. I really like that planner and I'm glad I got one, but I was using it for nightly journaling and I stopped because it was a discouraging time and it felt like the book was too pretty for sadness. Oh my goodness. So I put it away after the first quarter so I could use the rest for happier times. That is the nice thing about using, you can see kind of in the background here, I have 2 more, unused ones for 2 more upcoming years. That's the nice thing about using an undated day planner is that if you haven't dated it, you can just come back and start using it again later. Are you someone who works better under stress or someone who works better with rewards? That's an interesting question. I guess I work better under stress. When I first started, everyone's like, how do you get your work done in the day? So when I first started doing my writing like full time, I wanted to write and I didn't write. I would just stare at the screen for hours on end. And the rule that I tried to give myself was you can't do anything else until you get your work done. But I would still just stare at the screen for hours on end. So now I have deadlines and I'm trying to run a business, and there's that, sinking sensation in the pit of your stomach when you're like, I don't know how I'm actually going to keep this timeline. And it does keep me on top of things. But I do also reward myself. I'm not terrible to myself. If I finish a book, sometimes I'll order myself a nice dinner, or I'll get a good bottle of wine, or, I try to take more time off. I take Friday evenings off to spend with friends doing crafting now. Hey, leader, how are you? Does music help when I'm working? I listen to white noise when I'm writing most of the time, or music without lyrics. I can't have anything talking. Anything with words distracts me. It is pumpkin spice latte season. It is. Although I found a recipe for pumpkin syrup, so really I could make anytime pumpkin spice time. I'm just lazy. I overthink the hell out of stuff, and then my editor goes, nah, this doesn't work. It is nice to have other people. I have some very well-trained betas who are like, hey, this is great, or hey, you did not do this well. And they aren't afraid to be I talk about Woof as a beta reader all the time, but he left me a very frank note at the end of the third Aravalia book, and he was like, this relationship that you're trying to write is just not, he was like, it's very one-sided, you dropped the ball on making it clear how certain people feel about other people, and he was 100% right. So having other eyes is really helpful. But yes, pumpkin spice is good for a reward for a work session. Just got back from trying to get my car inspected. Oh no, leader, what's wrong with your car? It's not a big issue. Well, that's good. That's good. The coffee shop one always slaps different. That is true. There's something about, your favorite coffee shop's pumpkin spice latte. Mumbles, hello, how are you? I keep forgetting to message you. I need to do that. I swear I'm gonna try to remember to do it this weekend. But how are you? What are you up to? I can imagine Wolf would be super blunt. He's very apologetic afterwards. He's like, I hope it's okay. And I'm like, you're doing what I asked you to do. Of course it's okay. Need the recipe because I had a disappointing day one time trying to pumpkin spice my oat milk with just the spice. So you need, if you buy that pumpkin puree, I'll dig out the recipe later today and post it in the Discord. You need to actually put pumpkin puree in it. I think that's the key. If you just use the spice, it's not gonna really taste pumpkin-y. It'll just taste spicy. So if you mix the spices into a little bit of the pumpkin puree, and I think you just heat it up with, I don't know if it's maple syrup, but you basically heat it up to make it syrupy, and then you sprinkle some of that into your coffee. That's apparently how you do it, but I don't remember off the top of my head all of the things. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you here today. I can't keep up. My critique group are also very honest, but I love how kind they are. Exactly. Blunt honesty does not necessarily mean being mean. Need a new taillight sensor. The thing that the light bulb goes into. Oh, interesting. That doesn't sound... Hopefully that's not too expensive to replace. It doesn't sound like it would be. You're working? I'm working too. It wasn't even spicy, just grainy. Yeah, I think you need to, because the way they do it at Starbucks is they have a syrup. So you need something that will be able to dissolve into the coffee, or because I've done that before. I've just sprinkled cinnamon into a coffee before, and it doesn't work. You think that it should, but it doesn't. So you basically need to prepare it in a way that it'll easily dissolve. It's the same with if you're making iced tea, you want to sweeten it while it's hot so that you actually dissolve like your sugar or your honey or whatever into the tea. Otherwise, if you try to add sugar to already cold tea, it just turns into this goop at the bottom of your cup. And it's gross. Casual Castile, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Ms. Writer Lady can't read fast enough. You guys are keeping me on my toes this morning. If you, I mean, you could try, but most people add the spice like after they've made the coffee, right? I'm just saying, if you do that, it won't dissolve in. We make simple syrup, which is basically sugar and boiling water. We do the same. We do that for our cocktails. And you can use that for iced tea as well. But usually because you have to, unless you're making sun tea, which is where you just put the tea bags in and leave it out in the sun. I usually just, because you have to use heat to activate the tea bags, I usually just sweeten it then. You need to infuse spices. It's like when you're making masala chai from scratch, you need to boil the spices together with the tea. Exactly. Katya, you're exactly right. I discovered that the hard way, like I said, by just sprinkling cinnamon into my tea and then being like, why didn't this do anything? I was like, hot tea, spice, it should work, but it wasn't boiling, so it didn't. Just looked it up, and it looks like they're only $15. Nice, leader. That's good to hear. Did you have to fix a bunch of other things with the car? Like, has this been an ongoing process? I am a tea snob. I do not drink Lipton. Sorry, this is the one and only time that I will tea snob, but Lipton is not good tea. Make your own cold brew. Time to close the windows. Construction crew in the field out back just found a skunk den. No! Oh, Lomi, I hope you close the windows fast enough. Also, we got a hydrate for Halo and a stretch. Your husband likes Lipton? Oh my goodness. We gotta get him some good tea. Also in public, so can't hear. Oh no. Okay, let me send a quick message to Halo. Whoops. Let me spell Halo right. Weird that my @ doesn't seem to be working from OBS. Oh, that was a good stretch, actually. My wife likes Lipton too. No, you guys are making me sad. I grew up in a house of Lipton tea drinkers. And it's not good. It's not good tea. It's like the bargain bin garbage tea. Although, take that with a grain of salt. I am a tea snob. I do drink loose leaf tea now. I primarily make most of even my iced teas from loose leaf tea. I use very few tea bags anymore. My boyfriend only drinks Lipton. No, I'm gonna have to stage an intervention. He won't even try other flavors? Oh my gosh. Although, given the area that I now know you live in, Mumbles, that doesn't surprise me. Because I grew up in that area too, and everyone thought Lipton tea was like the thing there. Everyone in that area thinks it's the good tea. And it's just not. Imagine liking tea. I mean, let me get my mitts on you, leader. I got Ghost to drink tea. If I can get Ghost drinking tea, I can get anyone to drink tea. Lipton tastes like boiled socks? I would agree with that. My husband will try anything, but for himself, he'll make whatever's the easiest. I guess that makes sense. It does, the process by which I make iced tea is a bit more involved than just, because I know you can buy, like, powder for Lipton that you just pour cold water in, and you mix the powder in, and it makes iced tea. But it's also, like, super sweet. It's, like, 70% sugar. Lipton tastes like it picked some lawn clippings and tried to brew them. I would agree with that. It's also very, very sweet. Like, Lipton's is too sweet. So, that That's something for me too. Like, I grew up in a house where sugar was in everything. We would get strawberries in the summer and sprinkle sugar over them. And then as an adult, I started just eating strawberries without sugar, and I was like, wait a minute, they're very sweet without the sugar. Why do we need the sugar? So I stopped putting as much sugar in my tea. I still do put a fair amount of sugar in my coffee because I like it to be sweeter. But suddenly it was like, hey, things actually taste better without that much sugar in them. He also always shoves like 2 full cups of sugar on top of Lipton whenever he makes full pictures of it. Oh my goodness. Then he'll complain about his lips chapping after. That sounds like he's drinking almost pure sugar. Back really quick, my phone restarted, and I just wanted to make sure you stretched. I did! I totally stretched, Halo. Thank you. I appreciated it, actually. I used to always try to do my yoga before I started writing in the mornings, but I've been doing it around lunchtime lately instead, because it helps me like clear my head from the morning. So I haven't stretched very much this morning, and it was a very nice stress. My grandma drank her coffee with so much milk and sugar. I thought that was the only way until I tried it black. Yeah, exactly. Like, if somebody offers you something a different way than you're used to eating it, always try it. Because I was just talking to my husband the other night, and in my house, we didn't grow up with sour cream because my mom didn't like it. So she just wouldn't. My mom, it turns out, was a kind of a picky eater. Like, she wouldn't have anything in the house that she didn't like, and she didn't like sour cream. And so I went to visit my... Oh my gosh, Anonymous gifted 2 subs to Levi the NB and Immersive Designs. Thank you so much. I wonder if I can guess who Anonymous was. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I visited my husband, then boyfriend at the time, and his mom made tacos, and they put sour cream on their tacos, and it was a light bulb moment for me, because like we didn't really have many Mexican places where I grew up either. So like eating tacos with sour cream on them for the first time, I was like, this is amazing. Why haven't I been doing this my whole life? And then I sort of found out later, my grandma was like, yeah, your mom would never, she would kind of pitch a fit if there was sour cream around. So it's like all these things that I just never knew were good flavor combos. I always like a little bit of vanilla or hazelnut creamer. I feel you, Mumbles. I like sweet coffee too. Tea, I like all different types of flavors, but with coffee, I really do like something that's like caramelly or like spicy or with a bit of sweetness in it somehow. So I do tend to use milk and honey in my coffee, and a little bit of sugar. Some ducats for the bucket. Zark, was that you? If it was, thank you so much. Sour cream on tacos is a necessity, right? Leader, at the age that you are, that's when I discovered sour cream for my tacos, pretty much. So imagine for most of the span of your life not knowing that sour cream was good on tacos. It was mind-blowing. Zark, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna start switching into writing mode because I gotta write words at some point today. That's what we're here for, right? So I believe we are, according to the outline, which you can see here, we wrote chapters 10 and 11 yesterday. So there was actually a scene in between the one that we were just looking at and the one where we're starting. But I believe the dialogue was simply, what do you think you're doing entering this way? I happen to know you're not supposed to hold those keys. So we're gonna start with sheer terror in our character this morning, because she's been caught somewhere she's not supposed to be. And pretty much the punishment for doing something you're not supposed to do in this cult is being expelled, which probably means dying. They call it expulsion, but it probably means that they murderate you. So sorry you had to go that long without such a basic necessity, right? Thank goodness I realized around the age that you are later that there had been some really finicky choices made around food in my household, and I just started trying a whole bunch of things that I had never really encountered before. And I eat so many, like, I feel like we live in a time when there's so many food options, and I have access to like so much type of food that I didn't even know existed when I was young, because the internet and, you know, international shipping and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I definitely, around age 20, I had a moment where I was like, hey, there's a lot of things that I see on menus that I've just never heard of, so I better start eating things. Hey, Woof! How are you? We were just talking about how great a beta reader you are. Gonna get some lunch and lurk. Lomi, thank you so much for dropping by. Enjoy your lunch. I hope you get tons of work done, even though your arm is hurting, and I hope your arm feels better soon. Speak of the devil, and then he appears. Danganronpa rules of expulsion. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, they say we're kicking you out, but what they really do is stab you and then throw you off a cliff. Probably. Basically, for those who haven't been to any of our other, like, planning streams, Siri is in a cult, but she doesn't realize it. So she thinks she's part of, like, this organization of mages who's working towards this great purpose for, the world that she lives in, but she's 100% in a cult. We call him the devil, and he says, oh, you're so sweet. Oh, no, maybe that was because we were talking about how good a beta reader he is. Look, it's okay, Woof. We love you for who you are. You don't have to pretend to be innocent around us. We embrace the full realization. Most people don't realize they're in a cult. Exactly. Well, and one of the reasons why I have sort of planned this novel the way that I have is because I kind of want to show that sort of that slow process. Because I think what's going to happen is in this first book here, Siri realizes that she might not be in the place that she wanted to be, and sort of the scenes that we're actually going to write today, this is a really good segue, the scenes that we're going to write today are about Siri starting to realize that maybe she should get out, that maybe she should try to escape. And then through the course of this book and the next book, I think she gets pulled back into the cult, right? She gets convinced via the usual methods of brainwashing from cults that, you know, it was a mistake in her thinking rather than a flaw in the organization. But I do think it will be a back and forth thing throughout the series, that at some point I want Siri to realize that she has been being used by people, and that they were never presenting her the truth. Because I think that that's very realistic. Like, there are people and organizations in the real world that take advantage and manipulate other people. And I think showing that happening in a fantasy story is one way to help people recognize, hey, if somebody does this to you, it's bad. So Wolf says, doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well too. It's overcast this morning, so it's taken some time to wake up. Is it really a cult if you don't eat questionable meat with your comrades? Hey, if it's been a slow work day, I hope that's a good thing. Hey, Lucifer, I mean Woof, browse. Training done, yes! Freedom! All right, we're gonna do a sprint. I'm gonna take off my hoodie first, though, because it's starting to get warm. And you guys can see my Ghost Pepper shirt. Represent. Gotta represent my lovely husband. Earlier this week was a bit of a fire on my backside, but now I've got nothing to do. It's pretty nice. Nice! I always like work days where you can just breathe a bit. I don't get many of those because my boss is kind of a bitch. You should definitely buy some of your own merch, Leader. Yeah, I wanted one of the big brain shirts, but Ghost wasn't happy with how they were coming out, so he got me one of these, the spicy one for now, and then we're gonna work on getting some more shirts later. But it's just so nice to be able to wear something, and I love like having merch from my friends and like being able to say like, oh yeah, my friend does this, and this is like their shirt, and telling other people like I love to rave about Mumble's art because she did all of my emotes. If you guys are looking at any of the gorgeous emotes or like the little things that I pop up like these pictures, Mumbles did all of those and they're amazing and I love them to bits. So thank her for those. I just want piles of stickers. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I love stickers. Consume content out of love. Exactly. Well, and my thing too is that like if I'm going to buy stickers or a shirt or whatever, I would love it to be in support of a friend. Like yeah, I buy Critical Role merch too, and I like representing them. I think what they do is great, but they have plenty of fans that support them and they don't have to worry about like where their money is coming from. I would love to, support my friends that are smaller streamers, or up and coming artists and whatnot. I would love to support them equally to that because the pool is smaller. In general, it's the same for me. Like, I have a bunch of books out, but I don't make a ton of money off of that. So every sale for me is a big deal. And so I try to pay that forward to my friends too. I love being able to buy, Kali merch or, even having a couple of Ghost Pepper things, even though that's, kind of money coming out of our bank and going back into our bank account. But still, like, I love being able to spread around Mumble's art and say, this is a great artist in our community who did this work for me and she's amazing. Go hire her and like all that kind of stuff. So I think it's important to keep in mind, I won't soapbox this for very long, but it's important to keep in mind that like every time you support an indie artist, support a member of our community, like you are helping their visibility. You are helping them get their work out there and introducing people to them that like may never have heard of them before, and you're increasing that pool, right? You're increasing that pool for the community and people who are going to be able to find out about all the wonderful people, because one of the things we talked about on the podcast last night was how wonderful this little pocket of Twitch is and how great and amazing and generous y'all are. And so every time you bring someone else into this crazy chaotic pool of love that we've got going on, like, you're increasing that visibility. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Anonymous. Wink, wink, for those subs to Xandra Wrights and Katya. Novasaurus, hello. How are you? We're just about to start our first sprint of the day. We were just having a little moment, but seriously, guys, support small businesses, small like indie authors, indie artists, any small streamer that you encounter that you think has a cool vibe, support those people because they will appreciate the fuck out of it. Neo, hello, how are you feeling? Also, we gotta hydrate for Nova, and then I swear I'm gonna start the writing timer. I'm gonna get quiet for about 20 minutes here while I do some clicky clacking, but please continue to chat with each other in the chat and I will catch up with you. Absolutely. Support small streamers, small artists, small authors, all of those, like small music writers, all of those people. Because, they're just trying to get their art out there. Prepping for an appointment. I hope it is a good appointment. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling, it was very overcast when I woke up this morning, so I was feeling very, like, drab. But I'm feeling much more awake now that I'm hanging out with you guys. Oh, wait. What are we waiting for, Neo? Oh, lag. Okay. Come back, Neo. Come back. All right. Let's have a writing timer. If you guys are writing or working, please feel free to use the timer to get some focused work done. Or Be chaos in the chat because we love chaos here, and I will catch up with you when I finish my clicky clacking. Need a keyword cat emoji? I do. Well, I'm hoping to get some. My animated emotes are just kind of borrowed from my regular emotes right now. I'm hoping to eventually get some, to get like a keyboard typing one, and there's plans. There's plans. Definitely back using it after my appointment. Ooh. Got way too much to do and so little time. Well, I hope the appointment goes smoothly, Nova. I always get like nervous about appointments, even if I'm like really familiar with where I'm going. So I hope it's a quick and painless one. Feeling better? Yes. Nice. Stream today, so feeling much better. Good to hear it. See, Neo, if you rest sometimes, you recover more quickly. Oh my goodness, I could not hit the right keys there. Who rests these days? It's either work or play games, watch shows, or sleep. I mean, you should rest when you need it. Just putting that out there. But I feel you. I don't rest nearly as often as I should. Yeah, AB Coffee, I have moments like that too, where I clearly have my fingers in the wrong space, but I just keep going. If I work that much, it's because I try to avoid something I don't like about me. Well, I work way too much too. And honestly, my friends have encouraged me to take time for myself and to rest and relax and have hobbies and do Bell's spaghetti arms. And you know what? They were right. It's hard sometimes when you're used to just working all the time, but it's good for you. When I was working at a shelter, it was run around like crazy for 8 hours and then collapse. Yeah, I could see that. I kind of want striker typing as a focus ASMR. I mean, if you guys want to record my clicky clacks and listen to them elsewhere, I'm cool with it. I think it's weird, but I'm cool with it. Hey, Neo, you can talk about anything you want here. It's totally fine. I just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Because you're a precious member of this community and we love you. So take that. Take our love and shove it down your throat. You're stuck with us now. Make a video after sharing your cookie cocks and post it on YouTube. I guess I could. I do post the VODs of these writing sessions on YouTube as well. If anyone ever just wants to, you know, find a way to put those on loop. I can never spell peripheral. I was asked to do one with my typewriter once. I gotta make a longer, better version. Oh yeah, I imagine that would be pretty cool. Like actual typewriter click clacks. Use a professional mic to get authentic clicky clacks. If you listen closely, you can hear the paper moving past the mic. That's so cool. I was doing it more for a friend. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely need to get some. My equipment is very not the best equipment. Ghost is planning to buy like an actual good camera, and I'm gonna inherit his camera, which is slightly better than mine. And people have requested a clicky clack cam, so we might add that to the stream in the future. But I definitely did not buy any of this equipment planning on doing like professional level streaming, so it's kind of makeshift. Oh my god. Words are not cooperating with me today. Oh no, Zark, did you lose it? Like, did you lose a mic in like a move, or just did it get like misplaced? Oh my gosh, Wolf hasn't streamed in like ages. Woof hit affiliate and then just never streamed again. So you absolutely should stream more, Woof, for sure. Look, I feel like I'm the most boring and you guys are all here watching me, so... But you can invite people to stream with you on your channel, Woof, if you want company. All right, first sprint completed. Hey, Angel Faye, how are you? What is up? Co-streams are a thing, and I really enjoy streaming with other people on their channel, mostly because it's not a lot of work for me to just show up and be myself while someone else is running a stream. Neo says I stream with no mic. You're not boring, Neo, at all. You give my brain a break with your clicky clacks? Oh, I'm glad. Look, I don't necessarily understand why people think my streams are interesting, but I absolutely 100% appreciate that all of you are here, that all of you do find this interesting or relaxing or whatever, and I will 100% keep doing this and keep being happy to do it. It never occurred to me to try it until everyone was like, hey, do it. I don't really know much about it. I've been trying to look into painting them and I have a set. You have Warhammer miniatures, Woof? Ghost has a bunch that he needs to build and paint. So if you could talk him into doing a building stream with you, I would appreciate it. They're all sitting in the closet behind me, unbuilt, unpainted. My dad brought me my old table back, and we had to position it and put legs for the table. I just now finished moving from my old table to my new table. Nice! 288 words, that's awesome. Your stream helps me keep motivated. Well, I'm glad. I mean, honestly, that's the main reason I'm here, is to encourage people to write and offer a chill space for just people to hang out, relax, feel safe, be yourselves. But yeah, for the longest time, I hesitated. I guess my point is, like, for the longest time I hesitated because I thought no one will come. And it turns out if you build it, they will come. So I'm sure if you stream Woof... Oh no, my camera! What is happening with my camera lately? I'm sure that... Oh my god, why did it have to freeze like that? I'm sure that if you stream, people will come... No, it's still frozen. Is it? Yes. Okay. It's frozen in a different spot now. You guys can clip it. It'll be there. What a way for it to freaking... What a way for it to freaking freeze. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Every time I try to have a serious conversation, my camera freezes in an awkward position. Tired now because of that. I imagine, Angel Faye, like, rebuilding a space is difficult. I'm not a good gamer, an interesting person. I think both of those statements are wrong, Neo. I used to paint minis for therapy. Oh, interesting. Years ago, I kickstarted a set of female adventure miniatures. Oh, heroines in sensible shoes. That sounds awesome. You always tell interesting stories, and it sounds like you have really cool ideas. Neo does have really cool ideas for books, and he only started writing like a couple months ago. I guess I should see how many words I did in that sprint. 1,024, pretty decent. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this in one more sprint, but we'll see. It seems like I usually am able to do it in 2.5, and then hopefully, I don't know, do we have time for 2.5? Oh my god, did you get it? Oh no. Oh wait, it won't load the clip for me. It says something went wrong. The clip is no longer available. What? No, okay, it's working now. And it turns out if you build it... Look at that. Look at how awful that is. Oh my goodness. Oh, why? Yesterday, my camera froze like while I was setting up, and I was like, this is just gonna be... This is just gonna be a disaster waiting to happen. It's easier for me to talk on Twitch. I think that's the case for a lot of people. I definitely sometimes find it easier to talk if I have like that buffer of being able to type it out and think about what I want to say. But as you guys also can probably tell from my streams, I also just kind of stream of consciousness talk a lot. So if you can handle that happening face to face, then you'll be fine hanging out with me. I'm going to take a quick bio break, reheat my coffee, because it's down to the point where my warmer will handle it a bit better, but it was tall before. And I'm going to run some quick ads. So if you're not subscribed, you might see a couple ads. I apologize, but I try to run them during breaks. So one, they don't interrupt us when we're talking. And two, so that people don't get pre-rolls when they pop on the channel. So, because I don't think I can entirely disable ads, unfortunately. So I'm going to be right back. If you need anything, get up, grab a drink, take a stretch, use the restroom. If you need to take pills, remember to take your pills, guys. Take care of yourselves. And I will be right back in 2 minutes, and we'll hopefully do another sprint. I'm feeling much more confident about this scene than everything I wrote yesterday, so there's that at least. Coffee is a good idea. I'm running low though, so maybe I'll do tea this time. Yeah, any hot drink that will keep you going, or cold drink that will keep you going. I will BRB, guys. Oh, hang on. I guess I should turn off the writing timer so it won't start automatically next time. BRB. I have returned. Oh my goodness, guys. Ghost Pepper is going out to dinner with his colleagues tonight. So I get to order myself something, and I'm trying to decide what I want. And I'm lactose intolerant, so keep that in mind. But I have these nice little things over here. These are the enzyme that allows you to naturally digest dairy. These allow me to unnaturally digest dairy. So, filet mignon. So I'm thinking I might order myself some mac and cheese. It's very sinful because I technically can't digest it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a house party of ordering myself dinner and doing cross stitch all night. It's gonna be amazing. My wife had to stay with her parents a couple nights ago. I had cereal for dinner because I'm an adult and I can do what I want, but man, that was lonely. I mean, I've done that. I've done this. I don't feel like making anything. I'm gonna eat cereal. I actually like night cereal though. So I heard French words, I'm back. Filet mignon was mentioned. Invite every cat in the neighborhood. Oh my god, though, if they get in the house, they'll leave fur and then Ghost will die when he gets back. So I'm trying to decide if we recently just ordered a big basket of like fried food. So I'm kind of like, maybe I shouldn't do fried food. And when I order out, I always try to order stuff that I can't like make myself. So last time we ordered, we did like a big basket of fish and chips and onion rings. And I also recently had chimichangas we grabbed some food from the grocery store that they like make in the store, and they were some really good chimichangas. So I'm like, I don't want to order fish and chips, and I don't want to order Mexican because I just had both of those recently. My dad's solo night dinner is a hash of all things. Ooh, that's a good idea. Like, I usually also try to eat something that maybe Ghost doesn't like that much because he's not around. It's the perfect plan. Hey, Kiki, how are you? Must be feeling better because my son gave me his cold and I had to call. Oh, no! Oh, no, Kiki. I hope you get some rest and feel better soon. That is the problem, though, with, like, once one person gets a cold in the house, it just rips through. So that seriously sucks. But yeah, so I'm like, do I want to order... But I'm thinking there's a place that I can order from in town. It's a chain restaurant, so whatever. But they have like a baked mac and cheese that I could order, and then they also have, because I know Ghost is gonna go out and drink tonight, so I'm willing to spend a little bit of extra money on myself. They also have this like kung pao, I guess it's not kung pao, it's kapow shrimp. It's like fried shrimp with this like spicy sauce on it. I could get that and the mac and cheese. And like need to take a million pills because lactose intolerant and there's dairy on all of it. But I'm tempted. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that, or like I could order from somewhere else and I could get like a fried shrimp sandwich and fries. Had to wash my blanket to get rid of the sickness. Oh no, Kiki. I'm so sorry. I hope you're able to just curl up though and get some rest and relax. I know if you have a little one, that might not be how it works out, but I hope that you're able to get some time, because the most important thing when you're sick is rest. I'm all in on a fancier restaurant mac and cheese, but man, something about that power in the box. I just, like, I'm a little bit spoiled because I get to order out. Not whenever I want to, but with fair frequency. But it's like, but I'm trying to decide, like, what do I really want fluorescent cheese. What am I watching while Ghost is out? Well, I'll tell you, I'm very tempted to actually watch Critical Role live for once. I usually don't, because I usually have other stuff going on around the time that they start. It's a double-edged sword, though, because if I watch Critical Role tonight, then I won't have anything to watch next week during my lunches, and they take the last Thursday. Oh, no, wait, they won't even have an episode tonight, will they? Because they take the last Thursday off. It's not even an option. Well, they'll probably air something, but it won't be. I don't know. Everything's ruined. Upside down. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna watch. Star Trek 24/7. I could watch Wrath of Khan. I could watch Wrath of Khan. I could watch Undiscovered Country. I could watch them both. Do you guys know, every time I watch The Wrath of Khan, I cry at the end. Every time. I can quote that movie, Vegan Mac and Cheese from Restaurant is Expensive and I'm Broke Today. I fully admit I would be not ordering vegan mac and cheese. It would be regular mac and cheese. That's why I say sinful, because lactose intolerant. Take this mac and cheese, Gandalf. Take it. I can quote Wrath of Khan word for word. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And the line that always makes me cry every time is, spoilers for a really old movie if you've never seen it, the funeral scene at the end, when Kirk says, of all the souls I've met, his was the most human. Every time. Ball. Every time. I can get past the death scene now. But as soon as he says that, every time, instant tears. I dissolve. Of all the souls I've met, his is the biggest butt. Woof! This is what I'm saying. I cried twice when watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't think I've seen that one. I have cried through anime, though. I actually really liked the original Full Metal Alchemist that they made when they like couldn't catch up with the manga because the manga was like taking forever. And they made that movie Conqueror of Shambhala, and that movie makes me cry. It's so good. It's so unbelievably good, even though it doesn't follow the manga at all. I can quote The Voyage Home. Nice. I love like all the Star Trek stuff, but I think Wrath of Khan was peak for me. I am the hell okay. I think the last time I caught feels was the Demon Slayer movie. Oh, interesting. I genuinely have movies that I like. It's gonna sound weird, but every now and then you need a good cathartic cry. You need to just feel emotions and expel them from your body. And I genuinely have movies that I put on when I want to just cry. Or like, there's a song from Macross Frontier. If you want me to weeb a little bit, there's a song from Macross Frontier that's sung by Cheryl called Diamond Crevasse. Look up Diamond Crevasse, Macross Frontier on YouTube. It is, we got a hydrate from Kiki. Thank you, Kiki. Just look up Diamond Crevasse, Macross Frontier on YouTube. And if I need to cry, like if I just need tears to flow from my eyes, I listen to that song. I know the translation of the song. It's gorgeous. And just the way she sings it is, if you want your heart and soul ripped out of your chest, listen to that song. You don't even have to know the meaning of the words, although I do. And it just, every time I need to cry, I just listen to that song. To me, the best Star Trek story is Data being a father. That was the first Star Trek episode I ever watched from beginning to end, was the one where Data was a father, and it was what hooked me on the series, 100%. When I get some writing done, it was an anime that I hadn't watched yet. You need to remember that you're human. With feelings, exactly. You need to feel the feelings. Lol, I know. That was the first time that I actually watched a whole Star Trek episode, and suddenly I was like, wait a minute, this show is amazing. So when I was in high school, they would do like marathons on TSN, the Nashville network. And they would just do 8-hour blocks of Star Trek: The Next Generation every Sunday, and that was how I watched that show. It used to be Charlie Brown Christmas. That's a good one. In high school, I learned that overall Charlie Brown is about the Great Depression, and it just hits a little different. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Into the West from the end of The Return of the King makes you cry. That's another good one. Any song that has like these deep underlying layers of emotion, like can really do it. Sometimes when I need to, ooh, thank you for the posture check, Lomi. I am not posturing very well. Sometimes when I need to get into a character's head, I also have songs like, right now in my other novel, not this one, one of my main characters has had chemicals splashed in his eyes, and so he can't see right now. He's, they've had to like bind his eyes against the light so that this chemical won't permanently blind him. So he can't see anything. And I was trying to get in a headspace to like write him the other day. And so I booted up this song from The Longest Johns called Bones in the Ocean, it's a gorgeous song. It's very sad. It's basically about someone who survived a shipwreck, and he basically gets into a boat and he goes out into the ocean to find his lost comrades, right? And it's this song about him remembering the fact that he survived and that they didn't. And there's a part where he what are the lyrics? Let me actually just, because I want to do this justice. There's a part where he says, yeah, let me find it. Here, it's this part. I'll just put the lyrics up. This part. When at last before my ghostly shipmates I stand, I shed a small tear for my home upon land. Though their eyes speak of depths filled with struggle and strife, their smiles below say I don't owe them my life. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my eyes and my boat listed over and tried to capsize, I'm this far from drowning, this far from the sea. I remember the living. Do they think of me? And it's very... It's kind of this... It's basically about a song about a man who's trying to attempt suicide and realizes at the very last moment he doesn't want to. He wants to live. He wants to go back to the life that he has as I live all the years that they left me behind. It's very, very good. If you look it up on YouTube, The Longest Johns. So good. I played that song and it instantly put me in the right headspace to write the scene. It was just what I needed to get into that kind of like mournful, existential headspace. I thought you were going to say, so to get in the headspace, I slash the chemicals in my eyes. No, don't do that. It's bad. You can find it on YouTube with the English translation. Oh, one song that always gets me. Nimi. Okay. I'll try to look that up. Let me just copy and paste that. Add it to my poster. Don't be mad, but they used it in a Cirque du Soleil show. Oh, interesting. All right. Speaking of getting in the headspace to write, I guess we should do another sprint. But yeah, so if you ever need to feel emotions, Diamond Crevasse on YouTube. So good. You know what song always makes me cry? The Pirate. I'm trying to play that game, but it destroys my computer. I need to figure it out. But right now, we're gonna clicky those clacks. Actually, this scene might not be as long as I thought. It's not bad. I'm infuriatingly mad. Work has been nonstop today, but I just got off a call, so hopefully I can actually work a little on plotting for my cheesy Valentine's Day. I hope you're able to use this sprint, Bard, and I hope that work is done being a butt for the day. I want to play Pyre so bad, but it spikes my CPU every time I turn it on. Infuriatingly is not a made-up word. You're good. I mean, you could just say I'm infuriated instead of saying I'm infuriatingly mad, but infuriatingly is a word. You are fine. Are you going to be starting a fight? No, my CPU isn't the problem. It's the game settings. I need to figure out how to actually limit the game settings from the task manager. Because my CPU is fine. It's the game. It's not... That doesn't happen with any other game. And Pyre is not supposed to be that intensive, that, like, resource heavy. It's not disk. It spikes my CPU up to 75% and it starts making horrible noises. But Ghost said that I can limit the amount of resources that a game uses and force it to use my GPU instead. So I need to try that. I got distracted by Cult of the Lamb and I'm playing that right now. And I'm cross-stitching a lot, which means I'm playing games less. Gonna watch Stargate SG-1. Enjoy! What season are you on? I love that show. Bye, Neo. Take care. I love this little, Milady emote. Milady. Bardo, no, not the phone! Leave our Bard alone! I lied. I finished that scene. It's done. I figured it out. I do feel like I need to adjust some of the tensions in this novel for sure, but that felt pretty intense to me, so I'm happy with it. Let's grab our chapter break because there is another scene in chapter 12, I believe. Yes. All right. Thank you, Lomi. I think you've already written more than I have today, and I've been at it for 4 hours. I mean, I've also talked way more on stream than I probably should have, so the scales are balanced. But that is true. It's not a race. Everyone to their own pace. Let's see. Where did I start? The Elder was gone, so we started here. Ooh, 1,194. Dang! I was writing like the Hounds of Hell were on my heels that time. That will make that scene 2,218. Nice. Perfect. And that allows me to switch gears during the break here and start thinking about the next scene. I've been thinking, already, like this is editor brain already stepping in here, that I probably should not have another scene that deals with Ciri this close to the midpoint that we just wrote. In my outline, I do have 2 Ciri scenes in a row here. But looking at it from a standpoint of pacing and what makes the most sense for pacing, I shouldn't do that. I should probably break these 2 chapters up a bit and have the next scene be Alethea and Jalen, and then come back to Ciri, because once again, I'm sort of cutting away when she's potentially in peril. But I did outline it this way of there being another scene with Ciri, and I have sort of planned what I want this scene to look like. So for now, I'm going to write this scene here, this next Ciri scene. I'm going to stick like with her. I'm going to pick up this thread and just kind of run with it. But sorry, excuse me, when I do the edits, I might change that. Just, you know, because we're at the part of the story where the pace is starting to pick up. We're starting to get things that are really intense and a lot is happening. And so it doesn't necessarily make sense to create a moment of high tension and then dissolve that tension right away. But for the purposes of a first draft, it's fine. 85 words this sprint, but we activated the underwater elevator. Yes! Nice. I imagine, depending on how deep that water is, that might be a bit of a ride. I was just getting into the groove. Oh no, Bard, I'm so sorry. The benefit of writing being like my full-time thing is that I can just turn off my phone instead of having to answer it. Like, you have to answer it. Scary ride, I would imagine. It's funny because people always ask that question, would you rather go to space or the bottom of the sea? Because the bottom of the sea is as dangerous, if not more dangerous than outer space because of the pressure, like the amount of pressure that's on the seafloor versus no pressure in space. My answer at this point is neither. I want to not live in a place that will kill me. Oh my gosh, but if you've never seen the movie The Sphere, you should totally see it. It's one of the few, I guess it's a horror movie. I always thought of it as like sci-fi, but I guess it's a horror movie. It's one of the few horror movies I've actually seen and really enjoyed. I think Samuel L. Jackson is in it. It's so good. But yeah, The Sphere. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Oh, I already had a thing. Did I already have a thing? I didn't. The Sphere. Movie. It's from 1998, yo. It's so good. Here's the IMDb for it. It's basically about they had like this undersea outpost. Thank you, Lomi. Let's do a stretch. They have this undersea outpost and they basically find like an alien ship. Oh my god. Oh, good stretch. Thank you. Thank you. They find like an alien ship and they bring in a bunch of scientists to explore it and sort of what happens after that. It's I think it's like a sci-fi thriller. It's a little bit horror-y. I'm trying to find what it's classified as. Does it say? I think it's kind of similar to The Abyss. It's a little bit sci-fi, a little bit horror. It's old now, but I saw it in my youth. But yeah, between The Sphere and The Expanse, I have learned that I don't want to live in a place that can kill me. Science stuff can be scary. I saw like 10 minutes of the movie Event Horizon, and I did not watch any more of that because it was too scary for me. Despite interruptions, I got 243 words of plotting, which isn't much, but it's progress. Hey, Bard, that's amazing. That's 243 words that you didn't have before. And it's plotting, so you're laying a foundation for what you're going to write later. So it's very valuable to have that information. A little goes a long way when you're plotting. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, yawns. Ooh. I need to actually look at my outline because I need to remember, because I think my plan for the next scene is it involves a lot of internal things. So she's basically looking for a place to hide and she's going back over her old experiences. So this is series Crisis of Faith. So like the scene that I wrote yesterday where I felt like it was very internal, I need to find a way to pull some of this externally. So I need something to be happening in the scene so that it's not entirely introspection. I think I have her mentor showing up later. So this scene will, I think, mostly just be Ciri. But I'm also thinking that when she teleported, because you guys probably haven't been reading what I wrote, but basically I had Ciri run away and teleport out of her bad situation. And I'm thinking that when she teleported, she like panic teleported to her home or close to her home, like some place from her childhood. So we're gonna do a little bit of like looking into Ciri's past. Gonna go wash out my water bottle, then head out to get my munchkin. Thank you so much for stopping by, Lomi. Good luck again with your words and with your shoulder. I hope you feel better soon. Plotting doesn't equal impressive word counts. Exactly. It's the skeleton, and I'm figuring out all of the things. I'm mostly just frustrated I keep getting interrupted. That's totally fair. And highly, highly recommend for everyone, if you can, you can't always, and I get that, if you can, try to carve out, like, uninterrupted time for yourself to work on your writing. Obviously, I know you're working in between other tasks, Bard, and that's perfectly valid, a perfectly wonderful way to fit words in, and again, I do recommend that if you're the choice that you have. But I hope you're also able to get some uninterrupted writing time at some point, because you deserve it. You work hard, and you deserve to be able to do things that you want to do. My mom doesn't care about my scheduled time. It's, you know what, Katya? It's hard. Uninterrupted time, what's that? And I know that you have a little one, which does make it pretty much impossible to get uninterrupted time. But Katya, I feel you. Like, I had to fight really hard to get my family to understand my work time and my work schedule too. And like the biggest thing for me is I remember one time when we lived in Quebec, little ones don't care. Yeah, I mean, they don't really understand, so it's not their fault. But if you want uninterrupted time, I'm going to have to start writing from 12 to 3. I would say that that's a good idea, except that you probably need that time to sleep, Bard. My brain does much of my interruptions. I feel you, Exiled Fae. That's a struggle, too. But I remember back when we lived in Quebec, we had a time when Ghost's family came to visit us, and then we were going to drive back and visit them for a few days at their place. And I was still sort of getting into the writing routine, and so I asked what time everyone wanted to leave so that I could get up an hour earlier and do a bunch of work. And so Ghost's family took that as, we'll all get up an hour early and leave an hour early. And I was like, no, I got up at this time to do my work, right? Before we leave. Not so that we could all just pile in the car and leave early. And I could tell at the time that they were annoyed by this. But if you stick to your guns, like if you defend that time long enough, people eventually figure it out. So this year, fast forward to this year, back in May, my in-laws wanted to come and build some garden boxes outside. And I basically point blank told them, like, I cannot take a week off to host you guys. I have to work. I can't help with the boxes. I can give you money and you can go do whatever you want, but I will be working. I will be in my office. One of the reasons we bought this house, and one of the big things we looked for when we bought this house, was so that I could have an office with a door, because my office was in a loft at the old house, which made it impossible for me to work when people were over. So I was like, I will be in my office, I will have the door closed when I'm working, I can try to arrange to have my evenings off, but like, I do not have time in my schedule. And they were like, it's cool. Like, we don't need you to entertain us, we just want to come have a project. And for the most part, they were pretty good about it. It was clear that Ghost's mom thought I would take off, because it was a holiday weekend. She thought I would take off the holiday Monday. And I was like, no, I don't get days off. I have to work that day. But aside from that, like, they were really understanding about it. And when I was in my office with the door closed, they left me alone and they didn't interrupt and they let me have my schedule. So people come around over time. People come around. they figure out that you're serious about it and that you're not trying to be a total B. And, you know, it takes so much time, though. There was so many years of that fight before I got there. Fortunately, my mom only comes to visit every other week. There you go. But it doesn't help that I write a lot on my iPad and my phone. She always thinks I'm just chilling. Ah, yeah. So she doesn't realize that's the thing, too. Like, Ghost has interrupted me a lot of time when I'm on Twitter. And he's like, you're not working, you're on Twitter. And I'm like, no, I do Twitter as part of my job. I'm not necessarily on Twitter because I'm faffing around. I go on there to interact with people as part of my work. So sometimes you have to fight the fight. But Ghost understands. Ghost is very supportive of my work. And his family has read a bunch of my stuff now, and I think they kind of understand a bit better how time-consuming it is. And how much, like, I'm not just sitting at my computer being lazy. I'm actually working my butt off all the time when I'm here. Looking for a house where I can have my office with a door. Yes, it makes such a big difference, because I liked the loft where I had my office before. It was nice, it was open, but as soon as anything else was happening in the house, it was massively distracting. I like that I can come in here, I can close the door, I can sort of have that extra barrier and block out the sound a little bit more, and also that people know if I'm in here with the door closed, they shouldn't just bust in. I used to do that, and my grandmother used to think I was just chilling instead of writing, and it was like, nope, yeah, you better be Narrow's Eyes. No, I cannot stress enough that Nate Dogg, aka Ghost Pepper, is the most supportive person. I mean, we have basically structured our financial situation so that I can write and basically not make money. I make a very small amount of money off of my writing. Enough to pay a bill every now and then. I do not make a ton of money. I definitely don't make a living wage off of what I do. Even if I combine my Twitch income and my writing income for the year, it covers my expenses. It covers the cost of book covers. It covers the cost of advertising. I don't really contribute to my household in that way. And Ghost has been very stellar about finding ways that we can supplement our income and live comfortably without me having to go back to work and do the 9-to-5 office junkie thing. And just, like, I do what I love, and I am happy to do it. And I can do that in part because I have a supportive husband who was like, yeah, it's your dream. We're going to make that happen. I'm very, very fortunate in that regard, and I know that. I'll be the first to say that. I love my office, and it has a beautiful window, but I mostly use it for my day job, so I prefer writing in the living room. That's fair, too. Like, that separation of this is where I do my work, and this is where I do my fun work. That's fair. What a good little pepper he is. He is the sweetest, like... I know that I razz my husband on stream all the time, and I tease him and I sass him, but at the end of the day, he has been the most supportive husband that anyone could ever ask for. And I'm so fortunate to get to do the thing that I love all day, every day, because he supports me. And I know I say, like, I don't make a ton of money. We are not in financial straits. I should stress that. Like, we are... fine. We're fine. But when people come and ask me, like, what about quitting my day job and just publishing? Maybe don't, until you know what kind of income you're going to be looking at from your writing, because it's probably less than you expect. And I have come to a point in my life where I've made peace with the fact that I might never be a successful author. I might never make a ton of money off my work. I might never sell millions of copies. But I get to make my stories, and I get to share my stories. And at the end of the day, everything I do is for me, and I'm happy. So if that means I never sell a ton of books, oh well. I'm not a starving artist. I live quite comfortably and quite happily. And maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe it's not about selling millions of copies. Maybe it's just about doing your thing and getting it out there. I don't make a living wage in general, much less on writing. I don't make a living wage off my writing either. I mean, how much have you written lately, Shograz? Ghost still sleeps on the porch. Ghost has never actually slept on the porch. I have joked about that, but I have never made Ghost sleep on the porch, and I have never made him sleep on the couch. We joke about that, but it never actually happens. Even traditionally published authors have day jobs. Many of them do. That's true. That's true. Unless you're like Neil fucking Gaiman, you probably have another job. And Neil Gaiman does a bunch of TV stuff now too, so it's not like writing is his full-time gig. Unless they're on one of the 10 big names. Exactly. Anything above 0 for doing what you love is success. One Vamp, you're absolutely right. And I have redefined my idea of success many times. When I was a young, bright-eyed 19-year-old, I believed that I had to make millions of dollars off of my work to be successful. Here at 38, I can look back over my life and say, you know what? I know so many people who are miserable with their day jobs. They hate what they're doing. They suffer through it to pay the bills. And here I am. I wake up every morning. I get to tell stories. I get to make things up. I get to talk about the made-up people in my head as if they're real. I get to share all of that with you fine folks. I get to do these things. I get to write books. I get to publish them. I get to set my schedule. It's a pretty nice gig. At the end of the day, I'm happy. And I'm happy in my life. And maybe I don't have millions of dollars, and maybe I'll never sell 1,000 copies of a book, but I'm happy. And maybe that's what success is. So, very, very important, One Vamp, and thank you for putting that out. And how are you today? Good to see you. Don't call me out like that. I mean, Shagraz, I gotta sass back. Have I made him sleep on me? That's his choice. He gets to pick where he sleeps. I think you're already a successful author, even if you don't sell a lot. Just the fact that you've pushed so many books that you love out, I would say that's successful. Thank you, Katya. When I first started publishing, that didn't feel like success to me, but I think you're absolutely right. Like, with a sober second look at the last 10 years of my life, I can definitely be comfortable agreeing with that. Shagraz has written at least 20 words in chat recently. That's true. That's true. Those 20 words. You get to share your crazy. I do. I get to share my crazy with all of you guys. And it, you know, at the end of the day, if we were struggling to get by, it would be different. Like if Ghost and I were struggling to pay the bills, and we have had moments where we've talked about me going back to work. We've talked about at what point would I have to start working 9 to 5 again. And when we bought this house, it was partially so that we could supplement our income with rental, because we rent out the basement, right? We have tenants that live in the basement, and that sort of makes up for the money that I don't make. And we've had many discussions about how can we structure our lives? How can we use the financial freedom that we have right now to make sure that I can keep doing what I want to do? And to me, like people were saying, true love, to me it is. Like, I found someone who understands me and understands what makes me happy and is willing to go that extra mile for me. And I've also said to him, like, I also want to make sure that we're making financial decisions so that when he's ready to retire from teaching, when he's ready to make a change, that he can make that same decision, right? Because he's done that for me. I want to do that for him. And we had a point in our life where I worked when he was in teacher's college to support us through that. Like, it's give and take. But, you know, if we were struggling to get by, I would be singing a completely different tune. I definitely don't want to drag my husband into starving artist life just so I can do what I love. But we've made it work. And I'm happy with that. I'm quite clear that I won't leave my day job. It's too cozy and pays for my editor. There you go. And I mean, if you're happy doing your day job, Katya, and like writing and having a day job, that's great. That's perfect. Like, as long as you're happy. I think happiness is so underrated. And you don't necessarily get happiness from money. Happiness is your day-to-day experience. If you're happy with your day-to-day experience, that's it, man. That's life. That's what it is. Especially for being self-published. I will say, Megan, your books are really well written. That's more that I can say for a lot of stuff. I mean, I think self-published books do get a bad rap because some people do just kind of shove them out the door without editing. But yeah, I've learned over time that traditional publishing isn't necessarily a marker of quality. It's a mark of what people think will sell. It's obvious that Megan really cares about the quality of the work she puts out into the world, even without the inherent standards that come along with traditionally publishing. Well, thank you, Bard. I really appreciate that because I do. I hold myself to a very high standard. I will not put anything out that I don't feel is up to par or is sloppy or is not going to do what I think it should do. And as I grow as a writer, my standards grow more and more stringent. So my books are hopefully better and better over time. Your genuine answer yesterday really inspired me. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Working on setting up my own stream, and I have seriously considered pursuing this as a proper career. That's amazing, One Vamp. And 100%, if you are interested in any of this crazy stuff that's happening on screen, go for it. Totally set up your writing stream. Totally share that time and that energy with people because it's amazing. Like, it really is. And I 100% encourage anyone, if you're worried about like showing what you're writing on screen, like I'm showing right now, you can just hide it. Lots of people don't show what they're writing on stream. They run the sprints and they chat in between and it's chill. I'm not happy, but it's definitely less stressful than having a steady check. I mean, if you're working towards happy, that's good too, Exiled Fae. Like, if you're not quite where you want to be yet, but you feel like you're on the right path, that's important too. Because we don't get to where we want to be overnight either. It took years for me to get here, to be happy and confident with what I'm doing, and to feel not guilty for doing it. I always find books published under the big five that are poorly researched and badly written. Oh, same. I've read so many awful traditionally published books. Not even like the editing. I can forgive small mistakes here and there, but sometimes it just feels like I've read something written by an 8-year-old. No, seriously, Shagraz, I get you. Sometimes I open a book by an author that I am actually a fan of, and I start reading through it, and I'm like, what is this? Did you fire your editor? Who are you? It has a lower barrier to entry, so a lot of people don't necessarily take the time or care. Exactly. I mean, it really comes down to your own standards. Some people don't even do a cursory edit. That's true. I've heard writers talk about minimum viable product, and let me tell you, that is not my design philosophy. But you obviously do it, and it shows. Well, thank you. I'm glad that that does show through, because I am very passionate about my craft, and I want to do justice to it. I've had worse jobs than my current one, so it's a plus, and I get to work from home. Nice. Mostly at my own pace. Yeah, that's awesome, Exiled Fae. I have a friend who has been a streamer for like 8 years. She sings and draws or plays video games. That's amazing. I want to get to the point where I can sing on stream. I would love to sing in front of people again, but I'm very, very gun shy about it. As long as Woof isn't here to screenshot everything, you're fine. Yeah, Woof likes secrets. That is true. If you had a plan and keep doing stuff steadily, you can make a living from streaming, even if you don't have millions of followers. Yeah, I mean, for me, streaming is kind of the side thing. It's a couple extra bucks. It goes towards my book covers. I also do editing on the side as well. Again, sometimes to cover the cost of my book covers. For me, I feel like as long as it's not draining the household, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, and each person is going to define success for themselves. Each person is going to have their set standard of what they feel they should aim for, and that's fine too. Some people might be more ambitious than me. Some people might think money or bust, and that can be their philosophy, but more and more the older I get, it's not necessarily mine. I think what I'm gonna do is take a quick break, because that conversation went on way longer than I anticipated, but it was an important conversation and it was good to have. So I am gonna take a quick bio break, do just a couple of ads, because this will be our last ad break, I think, and then we'll come back and do a couple more sprints. I think 2 more sprints will do me for this last scene here. I have a kind of sketchy idea of where I want to take this. It's, again, probably a scene that's going to need a lot of editing, but I want to try and dive in and see if I can get it working. I was secretly kind of scared to read one of Megan's books because I really liked her as a person first and didn't want to be disappointed. Bard, it was mutual. When you told me that you were reading my book, I was like, oh no, what if she doesn't like it? Because I had some really bad experiences with reading some self-published stuff, but boy, was that unfounded. I'm just glad that you liked it. I really am. And if full honesty, if you had hated it and you had been like, I just didn't think it was very good, I would have respected that and I would still have loved you as a person. There was a deep relief in me. Well, I felt bad when you messaged me and were like, you destroyed me and I just spent 20 minutes falling. But also there was a deep relief in me when you were like, I really love it when books make me feel emotions. Because I was like, she liked it. It's good. Sadly, life calls me away for tonight's stream. No worries. Have a wonderful day. And I wish you and your muse much luck. Same to you, One Vamp. Thank you so much for chilling and hanging out with us. And I hope the words flow for you. I am going to be BRB, and we will do more of the clicky clacking. I back. Ooh, I have started the second one, and I'm so excited to continue the story. It's so interesting, and I just want to know everything about the world. Oh, you're talking about my book. I'm glad that you've started the second one. I'm super excited because I'm about to put out book 6, and I forgot how it starts. And I just love it. The first chapter changed my whole perspective on the story so far, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Nice! Yeah, the one that you're reading now is kind of where things start to come together. I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of where things start to come together. So, I'm really excited for you to read book 3. Shagraz, did you ever read the second one? No. She's not spoilering. She just said that the first chapter changed her perspective. Have you read any of the second one yet, Shagraz? You guys need to get to the third one. We can have so many conversations when you get done with the third one. I know Shagraz really liked the first one, but I assume... Well, Bard's reading it now! Are you reading it on Kindle Unlimited, Bard? Because I've had some page reads come through on the second one, and I'm wondering if that was you. It's actually so hard for me to get back into a book after waiting. You could reread the first one, Shagraz, and then go straight into the second one. You have a bit of a buffer now. There's 5 books out, and the 6th one will be out. It's on my Kindle app. Yeah, if you purchased it, then I wouldn't see the page reads, but if you're reading it on Kindle Unlimited, I see them come through. I'm just wondering because I saw that I had page reads for that book, that particular book come through recently, and I was like, is that Bard? I never actually know, like, how many people are reading the books, just how many pages get read. Are my commands not working? I think it's books. There you go. Or if you're looking for that particular one... I need to update that because it's 5 books long, but the 6th book forthcoming. I read the first chapter a couple nights ago, and I had to make myself stop because I'm trying to read like a chapter a night, or I absolutely will stay up till 4 a.m. reading. I just appreciate that you like it. Like, it just makes me so happy when someone enjoys something. It's sitting there staring at me in my queue. I mean, just start it, Shagraz. Just jump right in. I'm off to bed because I have to work tomorrow. If you want, you can join my stream tomorrow. Yeah, Angel Faye, if you go in, are you on the Discord? If you put pop into the stream promos area, you can post when you go live, and I will pop by. Have a good night. I hope you sleep well. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you go live, you can drop a link in that stream promo area and let people know that you're streaming. And I will absolutely stop by. Take care. When I get into a book, I just finish it. When I got to the first one, I finished it in 2 days. I mean, Shagraz, if you're struggling to get back into it, you could just reread the first one and then just go straight through. You'll basically get 6 books deep. And there is an actual ending at the end of book 6. There's a time jump between book 6 and 7, so you could just get, like, unfiltered story. No waiting. I have to ruin my whole... I've felt the urge to stay up till 4 in the morning reading. I know what that feels like. I'm waiting for the other part of the but, like, Gaia is kind of my least favorite character. Oh, really? Why? It is true that the second book does start with her, but there are other characters too. Elrea is my favorite. Then you need to read the second book, Shagraz, for reasons. For reasons. I promise you won't regret it. All right, so I came up with a couple of different directions that I can go with this scene while I was AFKing. Oh my gosh, the timer's been running all along. What? I feel like we got to know Elrea and the gang more in the first book. Definitely. I mean, there's definitely, the first book is a lot of... Remember that the first 3 books were originally one book in my brain. So there's a lot of introduction in the first book, and then it just kind of picks up and starts running in the second book. Gaia is my least favorite, but Elrea is my favorite. It might seem like a weird thing to say, but it's totally valid, Shagraz. But if Elrea is your favorite, I do highly recommend you getting deeper into the series, for reasons. It might sound weird for me to say that, knowing what you know about the end of the first book, but I promise you won't be disappointed. Also, didn't you say you really liked Cantus? I like the whole flashback a little more than what's happening now. I mean, listen, did you see the cover of the fifth book? Sugars, have you seen the cover of the fifth book? This is the cover for book 4. That right there is not Gaia. I would let that man do things to me? Oh, Shagraz, me too. You'd have a better chance with him than me, but oh, definitely. I'm so interested in finding out more about the characters from chapter 1 of the second book now, too. Yes. There's just so much good stuff. I'm biased, but there's so much good stuff. Anyway, Shagraz, I'm telling you, you got to get to this book right here. Did I show you guys this is the cover for book 6? Looky, looky. Looky, looky. So interested in, oh, I said that already. It's taking everything in me to not go read it right now. I'm sorry! When I get to that book, yes. I feel like I'll like the stuff happening now, and then I'll be like, what's up with all this? I mean, listen, it's a layered, multi-layered narrative. I promise, Shagraz, I did my best. I did my best. Oh yeah, I forgot. Somebody gifted me a sub to Sandream yesterday, so I have all her cute emotes now. I can do this and this and this. Anyway, we were gonna write some more or something. That's what we're doing here, right? She got 134 subs last night. That's amazing! I keep thinking that maybe in October, we're almost done with the chair thing. This is the last week for the chair drive. I'm kind of thinking that maybe in October I should try and do something to unlock my last couple subs. Not subs, my last couple emote slots. A level 11, it can go up to level 11 now? That's insane! Dang! Beach End dropped 25. That's amazing. Infinite. Interesting. That sounds scary. Knowing how generous our community is, the fact that it no longer maxes out is a little bit scary. Keep talking, guys. I'm going to turn on the writing timer and try and get into the scene. Vinyl, hello, how are you? What is up? I'm gonna have to save up for a little bit so I can find out if there's a cap. Oh, geez. Only fun people allowed? Vinyl's fun. What are you talking about? Collie, hello, how are you? What is up, my friends? What are you up to, and do you have any plans for this holiday weekend? Because tomorrow is a holiday here. Just got back from a run. Now I'm gonna have some lunch, then do some D&D prep. Nice! Enjoy lunch. Also, hearts for you, my friends. Tomorrow is the day when my Canadian coworkers won't be sending me emails. I count that as a holiday for me too. Yeah, it's Truth and Reconciliation Day tomorrow. So Ghost Pepper has off, but I will be streaming in the morning because writer days off, no. Although I am taking a week off coming up in October. Were you able to do that highlight? Uh-oh, what happened? He had to eat a tablespoon of butter on stream. Oh my god, what? Was that from the Marble Madness thing? That's gonna increase your cholesterol right there, my friend. Oh boy. All right. I will open this and watch it during the break between sprints. Wax part of his leg. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I imagine that hurt a lot. I started it last night, but realized I was way too wiped out and was just watching the video and falling asleep instead of actually highlighting. Oh no. Oh my goodness. It sounds like you guys had a crazy night last night. I'm still here lurking. I appreciate that, Anne. I hope your day is going well. No pressure to get it done immediately. I just wanted to make sure you don't forget. It's good to remind streamers, I've learned, because I know Ghost will be like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that, like all the time. So gentle nudges are usually appreciated, I've learned. I'm about to do a massive info dump, so I'm just, again, trying to be self-aware of the fact that that's happening right now. I assume it's not in the forefront of his mind, whereas it lives absolutely rent-free in mine. Yeah, fair. I appreciate, too, when sometimes people give me gentle nudges of reminders, too, because I have so much swirling around in my brain that at any given time, if I'm trying to remember to do something, I usually remember it at midnight when I'm climbing into bed, and it's not helpful at that point, because I'm going to forget about it by morning. Kali needs a lot of reminders. Ghost does sometimes too, depending on what the thing is. Ooh, it's break time. I'll figure out what to do with the next sentence when we get to the next thing, the next sprint. That's 1,034 words right there. Perfect, perfect. I think we are within one more sprint of finishing. There's a lot of information just sort of flowing onto the page right here, right now. So I definitely think this is going to be one of those scenes, like I said, that needs a lot of work in retrospect. But we basically have Ciri wandering through the area where she grew up. She's sort of thinking back over her life and the decisions she's made. We've got a little bit of information about Aleyith in there as well, because she had originally been assigned to watch over Aleyith. And so I think where I'm going to go next with this is I think Ciri's trying to figure out what she should do and where she should go. She's going to wonder if she should go home, if she should talk to her parents, if her parents will forgive her for disappearing into the Watchers and not speaking to them for quite a long time. If she should try to find the people who have been involved in her other tasks and warn them that they are being messed with, or if she should just try to disappear, create a new identity, start a new life. And I think what she's going to ultimately decide is that she should go home, that she should try to recapture the person that she was when she originally made her decisions and see if that helps her determine whether or not she's on the right road. That's a lot of introspection and is really hard to sort of pull externally. So basically what we have her doing right now is she is in the forest where she grew up. She's moving around. She's going to find shelter. I'll probably have her set up like a makeshift camp, eat some berries or whatever, sort of prepare herself for survival. I don't know how interesting or exciting that is when we just came off of like a high speed chase sort of scene. But for now, I think that leaving Ciri at a crossroads is a good idea, because I think that Ciri has been the most confident character so far in the story. She hasn't really questioned where she's going or what she's doing. And so I think it's very interesting for her to not know, for her to not be sure really what direction she should take. And if it turns out that this doesn't really work, if it feels like this makes the plot drag later, I can always change it. I can always keep the introspection from this scene, but change the action if I need to. So there's that. But I didn't really leave myself a ton of helpful notes for this scene, aside from the fact that this is the beginning of a crisis of faith. So past me did not really set me up for success very much here. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to go straight into what is going to be our last sprint here, because it's getting close to lunchtime for me. And I do think I'm going to probably need the full 20 minutes to get this last little bit in here. So we'll probably do one more sprint, and then we will look for somebody to raid and see who else is getting some work done. I also just want to say, for any of y'all who are still lurking, I've had some real ups and downs with this particular project. There are times where I wonder if I have been rushing it too much, or if it's any good, or if I should even continue with it. And I've had some real moments where, mostly off camera, where I've just been like, what am I doing? And should I keep doing it? But then I come and do these streams, and y'all come and hang out with me and encourage me and seem excited. And I'm like, you know what? I'll stick with it. We're about halfway through, at this point, we're about halfway through the novel as well. So we're looking at 50, 60K for the full thing. And we're actually going to finish it in 2 more weeks of work. So next week we're going to work on this 3 more times. We're going to have 3 more writing sessions, and then I'm going to take a week off, and the week after that we'll do 3 more writing sessions and finish it. So I only have 6 writing sessions set aside for finishing this book. So I'm lightning fast making my way through this, but I do feel like it is, like, you guys make me feel like it's worth it. So I'm sticking with it. I'm trying to I'm trying to find that groove. Also, I always have those crisis moments with every book that I write, so I try to remind myself when I have them that I should just keep going, but sometimes it's hard, you know, especially new project, new series. So you guys are great. You guys inspire me to do my work as much as I inspire you to do yours. So let's see where this introspection leads. I'm gonna leave this scene here. Even though I'm not sure if it's the best place to end it, because I feel like this is a good question to end on. I do think I'm probably gonna have to revisit this scene in the future. It's only 1,866 words, but I feel like it's doing what I set out for it to do. How many words did I just write? I started here. So that was 832. I'm pretty happy with this. Decently happy. I'm gonna let that 7-minute timer run down to finish out the sprint for anyone who's working. And then we will look for someone to raid. So no rush to finish up your work if you're working. I will just record my word counts here. Let's see, how much should we rate for the whole stream? 4,091, pretty dang good. I'm a little paranoid about saving, so I always reopen my files just to make sure the words that I wrote are still in there. And there it is. There's chapter 12. Pretty darn good. And I do my quick and dirty backup by emailing that to myself. Again, hopefully you can't hear the boys downstairs being ultra loud. I'm just checking to see who we might raid here. really hope you can't hear what they're saying downstairs because it's not very appropriate. Delta's doing some arts, but currently on BRB. I did notice that. Hey, Cademon, how are you? I'm thinking we might raid Usurper Kings, Safa, because I haven't gotten to raid her very much. But let me do a shout out for Delta Flareon, because Delta does some really amazing arts. I'm also going to do a shout out for Mumbles. Because again, Mumbles did the amazing emotes for this channel. So if you're interested in commissioning an artist at some point, check her out. And check out Delta, because Delta Flareon also does super cute, amazing art. Yeah, it's my pleasure, Mumbles. Thank you for being awesome and for all of the awesome emotes that you gave the channel. I'm starting to think of what, because I need to message you about when you're open for commissions, but I'm trying to think about what emotes I want to get next. So I have to go back through I wrote some things down. I have to go back through and see which ones I want to invest in next. So so I did say we would watch this before we go as well. This apparently happened on Kali's stream.
Why are we doing this?
Okay, 3, 2.
Oh my god! Oh, it stings! It stings so bad!
How did that not peak the mic?
That's so bad! How do people do that? Oh my god! Okay, wait, can they see? Oh shit, that is...
Hang on, let's hear the scream again.
Okay, 3, 2.
Ah, fuck!
Oh my gosh. First of all, ouch. And second of all, that's hilarious. The things that streamers will do for their chat. That was Cauliflumps, so I should give a shout out to Cauliflumps. Whoops. Check out Cauliflumps and his lovely wife Final Stencil for more of those shenanigans. That scream needs to be a blurb. That would be amazing. We definitely need to make that happen. Especially because I know whenever like somebody plays a blurb that's like a scream on Glow's stream, she screams again. So if we could just get like a chain of Kali screaming to his own screams, that would be amazing. This is it for me today, guys. I gotta go get some lunch and do some yoga and get some other stuff done off stream. So I will be back tomorrow morning. We're doing a bonus stream this week. Tomorrow morning, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be doing another writing prompt. And I'm actually going to be... Last time we did a writing prompt, which seems like a million years ago now, we did something I called Unapproved Hedgehogs, which was where one of... basically Dameron's daughter's boyfriend in the space universe woke up one morning and found hedgehogs in his room that he wasn't supposed to have, and he lives on a spaceship, so that's bad. And he's panicking, and it was so hilarious and so much fun. Amelia? I'm not sure who Amelia is. Oh, no worries. No worries, Cademon. I've done that before. Basically, I was having so much fun with that I want to do a part 2. So we're going to do a part 2 of Unapproved Hedgehogs where Daniel freaks out some more and then eventually finds out that they've been playing a joke on him. His girlfriend has been playing a joke on him the whole time because they're mechanical hedgehogs. But my favorite part was when Daniel was like, Dameron was like, they're hamsters, and he was like, I don't remember approving hamsters, and Daniel was like, they're hedgehogs, sir, and he was like, does that make them approved, Daniel? And I'm still laughing about it, like, weeks later. So we're gonna write more of that tomorrow. It's gonna be super fun, super chill. Just Friday morning writing session, and then that'll be it for the week. And then next week we'll do more of this crazy thing, and see how that goes. So check that out tomorrow if you're interested. I'll also be over on Flutterdie's channel tomorrow evening, Friday evening, for more crafting. And I believe, I don't know what we're doing yet, but I'll be over on Ghost Pepper's channel on Saturday night. Doing antics. That is from Tsubasa. That is I think was his name Kamui? And oh fuck, I can't think of his name. He's from shit. It's been so long since I saw it. Anyway, this is from Tsubasa Chronicles. It was Clamp. Clamp did this big crossover between their comics, Tsubasa Chronicles and XXX Holic, and it was amazing until the ending, which was weird. But these sweet boys are vampires, and this sweet boy is protecting this sweet boy, and I think they're basically boyfriends. It's heavily implied in the comic. That they're kind of smooching, even though you don't see it happen on camera. Clamp art is absolutely gorgeous. I have a ton of it in my backgrounds, but I kind of recommend their stuff. Just brace yourself for it to be really weird at the ending, because they write really good stories, and then I feel like they get up to a point where they're like, we have to end this, and then it's just bonkers town. I wish I could think of the other... I think this is Kamui, and I can't think of this boy's name. I wish Wolf was here, because he would know. I think he was from Tokyo X Babylon? Hang on. Oh my god. Tokyo Babylon. But what's that boy's name? Subaru! That's his name. Like the car. Subaru. This is Subaru, and this is Kamui. Kamui is also from X. There's a lot of crossover between... Basically, Clamp took all of their different manga, and they mixed all of the characters together for this giant Tsubasa story. And these two were my favorite, so I have lots of pictures of them. So, yeah, I haven't watched a lot of anime recently either. I think the most recent anime I watched was Yuri on Ice, which is super good. Again, super sweet story about two ice skater boys who fall in love. But yeah, I got a lot of these boys on my desktops. Let's pop over to Usurper King's stream, give her some love. She's doing some writing critique on stream, so there will be some opportunities for chatting craft over there if we want. I suddenly forgot how all of everything works. Please feel free to use any of the emotes that make you happy. If you have mine, you can use mine, or you can use anyone's. It's all about spreading the love. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I seriously mean it when I say that I've had some rough points with this work in progress, and There have been a few times where I've been like, should I just scrap the whole thing and not bother with it anymore? But being able to talk it out with you guys and seeing how excited you guys are about the progress really means a lot to me and keeps me invested in it, and keeps me barreling forward. So I'm really looking forward to chilling tomorrow, chatting with you all again, just doing something fun, to have a little bit of a brain break from the serious stuff. And I hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. If you're in Canada, a good holiday weekend, since tomorrow is a holiday. And just take care of yourselves. Keep being awesome. It won't be hard because you just all are awesome by default. And I'll see you again soon.
We could just say to take a bunch of bottles and I can't carry it by myself. She rolled her eyes at the eyebrow raised at her. And I think